Alright. This is my intense Clash of Clans skills here. This doesn't work. What am I supposed to do? Fucking Walmart. Walmart National City. Mouse scroll. Arrow up, arrow down. Better currency device will need location accuracy. No thanks. Your device needs location accuracy. Alright. Here's the real deal. Yeah, there it goes. So you follow this game SDK v1 tutorial, or what they tell you, and you find that you're like in hell. And it was C++ announced and pushing the page out. What's wrong? I guess something to do with Java and things being okay. And then if your account is the test account and you don't notice it, you get other problems or something. So this is what happens when you try anyway. Yeah, so let's try that again. And it looks like the app is still back there, but it's really the state. It just resets the state. It completely just garbages it out. Like, it does this. Okay, so continue. That's a test account. It's signed in. Oh, and it got it, like we already know that the session's not gonna work. Alright. Okay, what if we sign out and then sign back in? Let's sign out and sign in as this. Okay. That means it didn't let me sign in because it's not a test account. And I like it that way because that way you can test. Snapshots without enabling feature play console. Okay. So it knows that much. Finish setting up your game. View tasks. Set privacy policy. Health, financial features, your store listing. We just go to grow users and then just straight up play services and set up management, and you should be able to do this without having to be good or something. Soon be removed. Morningly. I did that. I upgraded it a little bit. just do that. Now we can stuff this goal. We're gonna accept edit properties, and in here I did put this feature on. This can't be turned off after publishing. I'll turn this off, and then you turn it back on. Use the Google instead. You like this llama texture on there and you pull it off. Google Play services and Google Play game management is enabled. Now here's the funny part. To turn on storage, recall tokens, agree to the supplement terms of service. Maybe I didn't do this. In addition to being subject to the Play Game Services Terms of Service, so I'm subject to just wasting my whole life trying to figure out one little thing. So, I don't know. This kind of doesn't like bother me, or doesn't concern me. Either way, it's fucking stupid. So, just like, don't ever think about it. Alright, so you see that there was some API calls. No, it took like an hour. I don't know, I guess this was an hour ago. Traffic, enable services and crap. So I made a test app. We'll start this over again. Just to kinda, because V1 is gonna get deprecated, but it's highly used by all the big games. Like, we can go and check this out. Okay. You could just start typing with your keyboard. I'll bring that up. And I can't use the mouse for some dumb reason. Like, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, I really want to just go like this real quick. Just go. So I know that there's a way to use the mouse. Yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna need to write something like this anyway. What the fuck is this one? WM size, screen coordinates? Oh, okay. Let's run this first. Okay. This is the lovely part of this. At least that's my 4.4. The other one's like 8 or 9. Alright, so you get to like know that. But here's the kicker. It actually says resolution is this, but DPI is this. So I think DP or something. So it has a nice so like this one. Oh yeah, this one's a 5.0. Damn. I didn't even know it was that low. I thought it was like a 7 at least, or maybe a 9. But you see this one? Yeah, the DPI is pretty good though. API level 20. But this one has a really nice shader on it, like some sort of like when you return and you hit it shader. And it's a V7. So check this one out. 4.4 KitKat. KitKat was the shit. I mean, it was the turn of the century. It was like the shit when it came out. And now it's a piece of shit. Okay. So I have this also emulated one. I would love to have this phone. I actually do have a broken version of this phone I need to go get out of my stash and see if I can just use it as development one on my Linux. And then, yeah, it'd be nice to do one of these. But, back to the hand. Stumble guys, right? So, Stumble Guy Toys Walmart. Oh wow, this game has its own stupid shit you could buy. That's what I want to do. I want to 3D print shit for my game and go sell it in front of Walmart. See how long it takes to get arrested for being drunk. And then I'll just like tape myself, and that'll be my TikTok video of me going to jail twice for something like almost legal, but it's stupider than legal or illegal. Okay, so like, how do you run Stumble Guys? I usually get the Xbox controller and just like stumble it out. It's still, I don't know. I like the game. I can't say I really love it. It's just like, you know, blah, run around. And then as soon as I die, I get so annoyed. I'm like, I hate this game. Just like, well, what am I doing with my life? I'm not a stupid little kid. But, it's all intents and purposes. You hate yourself for playing this. That means it's a game. I mean, you've had an awesome experience. Any regret, helplessness, best ever. Like, you're coming to that game. Get your confidence and everything up, or you gotta look at you, or whatever it is. You're with your friends. And that's the thing, you gotta make these things multiplayer, so you can just like play. Can we? Because we can make our game like this, so you don't have to download the PC, so you can play it on in Android Studio. And use the mouse. There is a mouse. This is what I was getting at. I could write a little program. I could just. Alright, where the fuck is Grok shit? Simulating a mouse click. This is how you do it. So let's say we wanted to do this. Now there's more than one emulator. Really? Who cares? They're not emulators, they're real devices. Stupid AV. Injecting input event requires the caller or source of instrumentation, if any, to have injection event permission. Really? Now I really have this. Okay. Let's see if there's a bypass. There has to be a bypass for that. There's no way I can't go on TikTok and hit like on every video by not doing this. Oh. Sake. Yeah, it need to be. ABD cannot run root in production builds. Why not? Fuck. How am I supposed to spam the internet? Install Scripty. Scripty and use your computer's mouse to interact with the device screen directly. That's one way. There has to be a way to do this. Nice. Well, we learned something new. I learned a lot of things doing Android. It's interesting. ADB shell. Can we break out of that? Is that how you do that? Just ADB shell. Oh, we can do that. Super users inaccessible or not found. Okay. And older devices, we should be able to do it. Let's see. Let's try the LG device. We want just click somewhere. Tap, please. Can we spam? Yeah, support. On older devices, you can do this. Nice. That's nice to know. Damn it. And it's like, so if you have an older Android kernel, let's just take a look at this app. I mean, we might as well. I don't want to install TikTok on this device though. There's not enough storage. Log into it through Chrome though. Alright. Getting like sidetracked really bad. Super bad. Okay, let's go back to like... I do like that I found this. I really love that I found this. This is like digital marketing promotion tool number 1 right here. Compile this fucker. MySQL and you're done. Promote your game fast. Just have it screen record and just sit there and pump videos out. And like everybody's stuff. Well, you'll probably get banned from TikTok a lot, but it's like just accumulate like 100 TikTok over a long period of time. All the devices and then just sit there and roll through them. I've never like done that before or something. Okay. Add your game to Play Console. Create setup app. Play game service configuration. No, my game doesn't use Google APIs. If you're creating, never set up Google API. Choose for your option. Enter your game's name and then hit create. Yes, my game already uses Google APIs. If you set up Google API for your game, in this case, list of projects Google Console. So, and it gets really confusing here because what is Google API versus let's go to our services. This is the test collect all stars game. And allegedly, supposedly, it's using Google Play service, Google Play GPGS API, Google Play Game Services API. Then there's also Google Cloud Storage Station API, possible to use, and then there is also Google Drive API. Not to get all those like thinking it's all the same, which it kind of is, but it isn't. Okay, and you hit this, and then you hit there's quotas for this. Okay. So if people save your game too many times, you get billed. Oh, that sucks. Why would you save the game so many times? Why would you implement any of this? It's kind of redundant. Oh, there is a quota. 1,000 quotas per minute per user. You don't want to be fucking storing every one of your game's assets inside the system somehow. Maybe you do. It might not cost you that much in the beginning. Like credentials. So we have our Android client. Service accounts. Email. Manage service accounts. Service account deal. Create service accounts using m.api, Cloud Console, and the Game Console API. Service accounts overview. Okay. Service accounts overview.
Whether you're a gigantic enterprise, small team at a startup,
or
even a lone developer,
it sounds like
if
one
you're
of
using
those
Google
like
Cloud, there's one thing you all have
pointless Google
your
worksheet
project
videos.
will use and depend on service accounts. Everyone uses them, but what are they? What do they do? Where do they come from? And why should you care? These are all important questions that you've got to know the answers to. I'm here to help you figure out what's what with service accounts. Okay, so service accounts. What exactly are they? To answer that, let's take a look at something you might already be familiar with, a user account. This account represents Jahira, the lead engineer on your team. She accesses the account with the email address and password associated with it, and access to it is shared with no one else. It has some IAM roles associated with it that grant it permissions to do some fun stuff like manage Kubernetes clusters, create compute instances, and configure monitoring on the project. For as long as Jahira works on the team, she can do whatever the IAM policy allows. And if she leaves the team, well, her account would be disabled so that it couldn't be used anymore. That's a user account. A service account, on the other hand, is an identity that a compute instance or an application can use to run API requests on your behalf. There are a few major differences between a user account and a service account. Like Jahaira's user account, a service account has an assigned email, but instead of a password, it can only be authenticated using a private public RSA key pair, and it can't be logged in via a browser. Service accounts typically represent virtual machines and applications, and while user accounts should never be shared, permission can be granted to users to impersonate service accounts, allowing multiple users to access everything that a service account can access. Service accounts are granted IAM roles to perform certain actions and access certain resources in your project, just like a user account, although they're usually executing automated actions and might have multiple processes dependent on them. That means you'll need to be extra careful to edit their access or if you want to disable or delete them. So there are two types of service accounts. Well, first, there are Google Managed Service Accounts. You might see these sometimes referred to as service accounts. These are service accounts that Google automatically creates and manages for some Google Cloud services. For example, right off the bat,
sounds like a good way to get your business destroyed.
Google API's service agent. This is a service account that runs internal Google processes on your behalf. There could be more Google Managed Service accounts that exist in your project, but you'll only see them in your IAM policy or audit log when you enable an API or a service that needs it. With Google Managed Service accounts, you technically can change and revoke their roles, but that's generally not a great idea because it could cause some services to stop working correctly. The second type of service account that we have is a user managed service account. This is a service account that you explicitly create using identity and access management. You choose a name and the roles associated with it yourself. In addition to anything you create, user managed service accounts include default service accounts. These are user managed service accounts that are created when you use some Google Cloud services that are meant to help you to get started. Currently, a default service account is created for App Engine and any service that uses App Engine, and for Compute Engine and any service that uses Compute Engine. The format for those default service accounts is typically project number-compute@developer.gserviceaccount.com for Compute Engine and project ID at appspot.gserviceaccount.com for App Engine. Default service accounts are generally granted the editor role on your project. For production workloads, this might be a bit much. So it's recommended that you create your own service accounts for these services and apply more restricted roles to them. So how can we see these service accounts in our Google Cloud project? If you want to see all of the user managed service accounts that currently exist on your project, you can use the Google Cloud Console under IAM or through a CLI using the gcloud command. The command gcloud IAM service accounts list will nicely list your user managed service accounts, display names, emails, and whether they're disabled. If you want to see all of your service accounts, including Google managed ones, the command gcloud project get IAM policy followed by your project ID is your best bet. This will spit out your project's IAM policy, the roles currently assigned to the accounts on your project. This is going to include user accounts, user managed service accounts, and Google managed service accounts, as long as they have roles assigned to them. We have only begun to scratch the surface of service accounts here. There are still some other things worth considering when we talk about service accounts. In this series, we're going to learn more about creating them, getting rid of them, effectively managing them, properly securing them, and using them for development. If you like this video, hit subscribe or leave us a comment below. See you next time.
What the fuck is principles? I kind of understood what he said. They just have these like impersonation objects that act as like drones for these services. Alright, that just makes things confusing. But I think like 80 sort of shit like this too. It's fucking annoying. Once you go from like one to the other, it's like, I don't even care. I just like run sudo root and just Alright, so there's these access tokens, Google Play services, and there's this thing called discovery document, which I don't know what it is. I just know that like It's really long, dumb, and it tells you crap about all the APIs. I think. Okay, that's what that is. Um, the Google Client Library is explained, like Google Cloud APIs, and this is the good thing to implement into your game, Google Pro. But I have way too much stuff open already, and this is like bound to happen. So how would I call this? Package name persona. Okay. So I'm guessing that's the ID of the app. Got like mugshots in the background. Damn it, I didn't get to type. I just pressed enter. Alright, for the URL, Google APIs auth games refers to all auth scope used for Google Play's API. The scope application or act Google Plays on behalf of the user, enabling features like accessing the player and game data. It's pretty grok though, because it's just inefficient. I mean, it lies. To be registered, Google Cloud, auth games, auth consent. For the information, game services. Which is like where we were. Wanted to? No, it wasn't this video. We'll watch this one next. I just want to fucking grind. Not watch any of this crap. I need XRP price alerts. Coinbase. Fuck. I didn't want to click that. Where was that one? I saw it. Okay. Do we really need this one? Probably not. Evening. Pilot. Okay. This is this one. This is the fun part. Organizing tabs. Is this the one? No. Leave these open. Close. It was probably in here. Jeez. So much useful garbage. And how come? Probably in here.
Cloud save feature in a major way. Heck, it's such a big update, we have renamed this feature from Cloud Save to Saved Games.
Okay. So fucking, you guys are idiots. Sorry.
In the cloud.
I
And
mean,
we got a
the
fancy new
genius
icon to
move.
go with it. Huh? It's got an arrow in it and everything. But it doesn't just have a new icon. This new Save Game feature includes a bunch of improvements.
Alright. I know what I'm gonna do with this. Time to make an icon. Like, this will be our achievement. So we need like a template for achievements or something. The achievement's gonna be take a shit in the game. And it's just gonna be the Google icon for cloud save. I mean, 180 degrees. And we'll like revive it for a little bit. Okay, we need, where is it? Where's our little cloud? Take this. Let's take this. Like, poop is important. So is like paintbrush art. These round chunks. It's all about the round chunks, you know, like on the edges. That's what really makes it stand out. You gotta be really good at paint to be a good developer. People only pay attention to like paint art. They don't really pay attention to all that AI generated stuff. Poop. Achievement. Template. For Google. No. For play. This. Services. We made our icon. Template for now. Save it in docs. Play Store development. Achieve template 1.
Over the old cloud save. The biggest of which is that you can now save blobs of data up to 3 meg large. That is a lot of game data.
I had more RAM.
And while you were limited to 4 slots earlier, now you can have as many as you want. Your app will now have a saved games badge in the Play Store, so everybody will know that they can save their progress as they're playing.
Oh, I'm gonna put that save game badge into your logo. Oops. Don't steal my OAuth codes. Put save game badge into game logo. Like they're not gonna, but I don't think there's an agreement yet. We could figure that out.
You can also add metadata to your save game, like a description and a cover image, all of which will make your save games show up very nicely in the Play Games app or within your own game. I mean, look at that beautiful save game. Don't you want to click on it? I know I do. App or within your own game. I mean, look at that beautiful save game. Don't you want to click on it? I know I
Where is that thing? Battle Camp? What the fuck's he talking about? Alright, so we got our app. We select the right one. We need like an icon or something to represent this. 512. Let's just open the other file. Watch lies you fart blocker. Reaching lies you fart blocker. Well, we could somehow recycle this since we opened it. Amazing. And then we'll poop color. Let's see what this says. Later, some. Okay, that'll hurt. That's so simple. Then we'll write our game name and put it upside down, or sideways somehow. We'll name it game. Collect all the stars 2. And we'll put 2 of these like signs. And we'll do something unexpected. Okay. This is so much fun. I'll take this. Make sure they can't read it. We'll leave that spot there too. Icon. Game store. Okay, good. Like that's some professional advice there on how you do your app icon. And that was all just for like, so I wouldn't have to look for it when I did this, because we'll look at the number icon. I don't know. We gotta listen to this stupid guy again.
I do. You know, players see this in the Play Games app, they're reminded, oh yeah, I was at this level, I had just gotten this cool new sword, I'm going to keep playing from where I left off. So these features are great, but along with these new features comes a new way of handling this save game data and new ways of managing conflicts. And I always find that when dealing with this stuff, particularly when it comes to debugging, it's best to have a decent understanding of how things work under the hood instead of it being some mystery black box. So let's take a peek behind the scenes here. You just might learn something. So the first thing you need to understand is that save games are represented internally as an object we call a snapshot. The snapshot contains the metadata, including things like the description of a file, a cover image, the amount of time you've played, and a local timestamp, as well as the giant blob of save game data. Save games are powered by Google Drive, and when you're storing or loading these save games to the cloud, the best way to picture what's going on is that somewhere in the user's Google Drive account, there is a hidden folder just for your application where this snapshot is being stored. And as these snapshots are being saved inside the folder, they're given a name just like any other file. And just like in a normal file, these names are the primary way we identify these snapshots to your application. Your user, however, never sees this name. They'll see your snapshot's description, cover image, and maybe some other metadata, but this name is never surfaced to them. It's really just
yeah, so this snapshot coordinator. Oh, come on. This thing is being stupid. Like, they want to find the stupid app he was using. Make sure he's not like from a dimension. Ah, Battle Camp. Battle Camp contains ads. Stupid save game icon. Also play this game on PC with Google Play Beta. Get email to download the PC app. Get invite. Are you fucking on crack? Competitive multiplayer single player stylized achievements. Battle Camp monster what? Catching? Alright. Let's go back to our oh wait, so he has 51 achievements, Raider Star 2. Vanquisher. Your game progress. Okay, so it's got all this shit. It shows right out of the box. With all these like stupid ass locks. Okay, so it's like a lock will be like, and that looks like some paint shit. This shit looks like so professional. I applaud them for that. So yeah, this select snapshot status, which is kind of the thing that's not working. That's what he's talking about.
Just an identifier for your application to use. Now you can query and examine any of the metadata whenever you'd like. But it's important to know that to read the saved data or to write to it, even if you're writing to a brand new snapshot, you must open the snapshot first. Again, I guess it's kind of analogous to accessing local files in a language like, say, Python. Right? You can find out the last modified time of the file, but if you want to read or write to it, you're going to need to call open on it to get the file handle. Now, most of this time, this open command, it's not very exciting. What's happening behind the scenes is that your device is downloading all this game data associated with your snapshot metadata, if it hasn't done so yet, and then tells your game when it's done.
API. Just like pissed. This episode of Game On, Todd Kerpelman on the first part of part 2 miniseries. Watch out for drop soon. Inmates, who cares?
If you're not saving your user's game in the cloud, I can guarantee you are losing players anytime they get a new device, because no matter how awesome your game is, and I'm sure it is, no one wants to start all over again from level 1 when they reinstall it. I'm Todd Kerpelman, and while there are many cloud save solutions out there, the one I'm here to talk to you about today is the one you get for free with Google Play Game Services. So the Play Games team has upgraded their old cloud save feature in a major way. Heck, it's such a big update, we have renamed this feature from Cloud Save to Saved Games in the cloud. And we got a fancy new icon to go with it. It's got an arrow in it and everything. But it doesn't just have a new icon. This new Save Game feature includes a bunch of improvements over the old Cloud Save. The biggest of which is that you can now save blobs of data up to 3 meg large. That is a lot of game data. And while you were limited to 4 slots earlier, now you can have as many as you want. Your app will now have a Saved Games badge in the Play Store, so everybody will know that they can save their progress as they're playing. You can.
Here's the convoluted part. I think it's all this video. Just click on. Oh, just a tag. Alright, and this is the problem right here. They tell you to use version 2, right? And this version doesn't even work. Version 1 doesn't work, so we might as well go with version 2. There's a problem. And then it crashes. This is the snapshot name thing. Conflict ID, retry count. Alright, let's look at the other project real quick. This one uses Google Play Services Games 20.1. But in the other one, what I tried to implement Google Play Services version 2. So what you have, see, let's just give this app an icon. Oh, bullshit. Why? How do you do it? Do you do it here? I think you had to put on this. Oh, here we go. No. How do you go back to the thing that was? How do you just add the icon? Oh, they just gave me whatever. So I guess you can't add an icon. Add all this other crap. Damn, add all that crap. Unless you just like template everything. How big are the other ones? How much crap do you have to have? You must add that, upload feature graphic, at least 2 photo screenshots. Oh, we could do that. 7 inches. Okay. The TCP thing means it's like Wi-Fi or something. Oops, I didn't. It's not like. Alright. Kind of navigate a little easier. For this one. Type in number. Perfect. Oh, we need the app ID. We'll get the app ID. We gotta go type a number, right? What we have to do is go to Google Play Services, Setup and Management, Configuration, create a new Google Services project. It's not that. Create a new cloud project. Go to Council. Go to the Council. Should have done this like early on. Test, type a number, game. For some reason my organization doesn't show up, but oh well. Can't put that. No under dashes. And we switch to our test type and number. And then we go to APIs. It should be enabled by default. Like right now it's not, but once you here use That's how I usually do it. I'm not going to do it that way, but auth and consent screen, okay. And then once you hit that, you just put your email. You have to hit external. But I am a Google Workspace user, another account, I think. But whatever. It's not like... There's a way to like make it so you could like have multiple of these accounts per one app and like abuse their storage, but that's like beyond the scope of like this, because then you would probably waste too much time in your life. Okay, Android client 2, package name. So what we gotta do is rename our package here, type a number. We'll just use the one I go by. Is the package name. I think there's other stuff I need to replace. Like I would like to replace all the namespace. Does it tell you where the declaration or usages are? Or is it like in this folder already and that's how it gets declared? Alright, now we go into filter Gradle. Sync that, put this in here. We'll run this. Make a little file for it. Do that. I need to do this a little bit more. Let's just have the grok to generate the key. To generate the key. Stupid thing. Probably in here somewhere. This is the OAuth client thing. here we go. Then what we do, we make our key. Setup. We just go to the terminal. I just like doing it within the project. That way it's like easy for this project's sake. Take the notepad. Just make sure we're easy to do the key store. Decorative. Sign it. Oh, like it doesn't ask for the bundle or APK or one of both. Oh, okay, so we got our shit. So this is how I did it, but I still ended up failing. You'll see what I mean. So I get my key. That's one of the reasons I did this like this was I usually just take all this after it returns and just copy all this. Dump it into this file, save it. What we need is the SHA-1. Set it later, regenerate it, but for intents of learning this, I don't know if some app we have set. Okay, whatever. That's done. It's okay. Create OAuth platform. Configure OAuth consent configuration of credentials. Android, type name, anti-piracy enable. I want people to. Okay, web application. That's the next thing to try is the game server, and I really know how to kind of navigate PHP to where that should be really easy for me. Fingerprint E2. Let's see if that matches to what I did. E2 D7. That's last time it didn't work right. Oh, maybe it's the one I pasted in there. Okay. But we'll see that it'll fuck up. Because now it gives us the app ID. Well, I think it already did. Plug this in. There's this file called IDs.xml. IDs.xml as your app ID. I need achievement really board ID, so we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 ones. 6 achievement and 2 and 2 event. Okay, this is why I kind of got paint really early. Started. You can watch the video while I draw about all this, because there was. It wasn't the guy video.
You can also add metadata to your save game, like a
video.
description and a cover image, all of which will make your save games show up very nicely in the Play Games app or within your own game.
13-minute video.
I mean, look at that beautiful save game. Don't you want to click on it? I know I do. You know, players see this in the Play Games app.
Hi, I'm Ida, the product lead for the game.
I just gotten this cool new sword. I'm going to keep
And
playing
I'm
from where I left off.
a product.
So these features are great, but along with these new features comes a new way of handling the save game data and new ways of managing conflicts. And I always find that when dealing with this stuff, particularly when it comes to debugging, it's best to have a decent understanding of how things work under the hood instead of it being some mystery black box. So let's take a peek behind the scenes here. You just might learn something. So the first thing you need to understand is that save games are represented internally as an object we call a snapshot. The snapshot contains the metadata, including things like the description of a file, a cover image, the amount of time you've played, and a local timestamp, as well as the giant blob of save game data. Save games are powered by Google Drive, and when you're storing or loading these save games in the cloud, the best way to picture what's going on is that somewhere in the user's Google Drive account, there is a hidden folder just for your application where this snapshot is being stored. And as these snapshots are being saved inside the folder, they're given a name just like any other file. And just like in a normal file, these names are the primary way we identify these snapshots to your application. Your user, however, never sees this name. They'll see your snapshot's description, cover image, and maybe some other metadata, but this name is never surfaced to them. It's really just an identifier for your application to use. Now, you can query and examine any of the metadata whenever you'd like, but it's important to know that to read the saved data or to write to it, even if you're writing to a brand new snapshot, you must open the snapshot first. Again, I guess it's kind of analogous to accessing local files in a language like, say, Python. Right? You can find out the last modified time of a file, but if you want to read or write to it, you're going to need to call open on it to get the file handle. Now, most of this time, this open command, it's not very exciting. What's happening behind the scenes is that your device is downloading all this game data associated with your snapshot metadata, if it hasn't done so yet, and then tells your game when it's done. But this command does get complicated when we handle conflicts, so stay tuned. Now, with that in mind, let's look at a simple situation where we're going to load an existing save game from the cloud, make some changes, and then save it again. Loading or opening a save game starts by opening up the snapshot as identified by its name. Now, if you're only ever dealing with a single save game that you're going to be saving and loading, you could get away with hard-coding this file name as a constant somewhere. Remember, this save game read out the last modified time of a file, but if you want to read or write to it, you're going to need to call open on it to get the file handle.
One file and then write another file, just because like, you could save your save game name files in one file and then like have to I need to listen to that. Save it in one snapshot.
These names are the primary way we identify these snapshots to your application. Your user, however, never sees this name. They'll see your snapshot's description, cover image, and maybe some other metadata, but this name is never surfaced to them. It's really just an identifier for your application to use. Now, you can query and examine any of the metadata whenever you'd like, but it's important to know that to read the saved data or to write to it, even if you're writing to a brand new snapshot, you must open the snapshot first. Again, I guess it's kind of analogous to accessing local files in a language like, say, Python. Right? You can find out the last modified time of a file, but if you want to read or write to it, you're going to need to call open on it to get the file handle. Now, most of this time, this open command, it's not very exciting. What's happening behind the scenes is that your device is downloading all this game data associated with your snapshot metadata, if it hasn't done so yet, and then tells your game when it's done. But this command does get complicated when we handle conflicts, so stay tuned. Now, with that in mind, let's look at a simple situation where we're going to load an existing save game from the cloud, make some changes, and then save it again. Loading or opening a save game starts by opening up the snapshot as identified by its name. Now, if you're only ever dealing with a single save game that you're going to be saving and loading, you could get away with hard-coding this file name as a constant somewhere. Remember, these save games are being saved in the user's Drive account in a folder that is reserved just for your application. So you don't need to worry about making these file names unique. You don't have to call it, com.example.myApp.savegame.userid. You could just call it something as unoriginal as like save game or I don't know, Dan, I guess. Like save game or I don't know, Dan. MyApp.savegame.userid. You could just call it something as unoriginal as like save game or I don't know, Dan.
Ankle flappers. Okay, that gives me an idea. What about like delusion flappers? No, quappers. So it's not referencing anything inappropriate, even though it is. Alright, and take this. We need some sort of like, what did it just do? That's good. Alright, now we need a... What do we need? Oh.
I guess.
Alright, we're gonna have to like use this guy as a reference. This is gonna be like easy. Use McGregor is hard. Really have to test my art skills. We're gonna use the pen, and we'll use the color black.
In Android Java, loading and opening a snapshot is accomplished using the games.snapshots.open method. In the iOS world, you're going to be using the open with file name conflict policy completion handler method, and in the C++ world, you're going to be using the snapshot manager's open command. The implementations do vary slightly, but you'll notice that in all cases you provide a name of the snapshot, and by the end of the process, you're left with a snapshot that has been opened and is now available for reading or writing. Reading the contents of a snapshot is accomplished by calling a second command on the open snapshot or snapshot metadata object. In Android land, this is read fully. In iOS, it's read with completion handler, and in C++, it's read or read blocking. Again, this is a separate command because while we can load the snapshot data into memory right away, we probably don't want to have to do this for a 3 meg chunk of game data until we really have to. And in all cases, you're going to get back a byte array, some NS data, or a byte vector that you can then pass along to your game and process as necessary. Now let's say that we...
How do we look at McGregor? Oh, you have to just pause the video. And he'll be like in gray, since gray is like more aggressive. He's got a bunch of gray hair, like a lot. His eyes are like really blue. Okay. And he's just like gray and stuff. Gray person. You can't even tell if he's smiling or something. I have to keep drawing his mouth. Okay, good. Okay, now we have...
We've gone and opened your snapshot and read in some data and passed it along to our game, and now the player has made some progress and wants to save their game. To do this in Android, you're going to need to write this game data back onto the same snapshot you opened earlier. You're not going to be creating a new one. What you are going to do is create a new snapshot metadata change object. So let's ignore the rest of this snapshot here and just look at this new object. The metadata change object is basically a list of elements in the metadata, such as a description, time plate, or cover image, that are different between this version of the snapshot and what was up there before. Basically, the Save Game API will look at this change object and kind of overlay it on top of your old metadata to create this new metadata object. Once you've done this, you'll call commit and close on Android devices, where you'll pass in the old snapshot with the new data and the metadata change object, right there. On iOS and C++, it's slightly different in that you do create a new game data object instead of writing over the old one, but you're still creating a metadata change object as well, and then all that gets sent up. You'll take the current snapshot metadata and call a commit method on it. You'll do something similar in C++, and in both cases, you can see we have our currently open snapshot, our met.
So you can call this on iOS.
Basically, the Save Game API will look at this change object and kind of overlay it on top of your old metadata to create this new metadata object. Once you've done this, you'll call commit and close on Android devices, where you'll pass in the old snapshot with the new data and the metadata change object, right there. On iOS and C++, it's slightly different in that you do create a new game data object instead of writing over the old one, but you're still creating a metadata change object as well, and then all that gets sent up. You'll take the current snapshot metadata and call a commit method on it. You'll do something similar in C++, and in both cases, you can see we have our currently open snapshot, our metadata change object, and our new data. Once you've committed all this information and once you've saved all this information and committed your snapshot, it is now considered closed. And you'll want to reopen it again if you want to write more data to it. So easy peasy, right? Okay, so let's look at some situations where things can get a little funky. What do you do if this is a brand new player or somebody who's never signed into game services before and they try to open a save game file that doesn't exist? Actually, this isn't really a problem. On Android, one of the arguments you pass to snapshots that open is a create if not found Boolean. Set this to true and you're all set. You simply open up a snapshot with no data in it. In iOS and C++, you don't even need to do that. It'll create an empty file by default. Then you simply treat this empty snapshot like any other snapshot. It's just one that has no data and all of its metadata is set to default values and or null, or I guess nil on iOS. Simply by updating this snapshot with your first set of game data and a reasonable metadata change object, you can get this looking like a real snapshot in no time.
I'm Ida, the product
So
lead
up
for the
until
gamer
now,
profile.
we've talked as though you're just loading and saving the same game file over and over again. But let's say you want to manage more than one save game file. How do you do that? Well, for starters, you're not going to be hard-coding your snapshot name. You're going to need to figure out which snapshot to save and load at runtime. And to do that, you're going to need to give the player the ability to pick which save game they want to use, create a save game, and so on. Luckily, the UI to handle all this is provided for you by the game services libraries. When you want to present a user with a list of save games, you can call up our UI. Now, there are several settings you can tweak with this UI, either as parameters in Android and C++ or as delegate methods in Objective-C. These settings will let
All right, go take a break. This is too much fun. Let's go upload all our shit. All right, so we got this part. I don't know if I should do this yet. No, I shouldn't. Achievements. Create an event. Event type. Currency source. Currency sync. I don't know. This is an event icon. Whatever that is. Sky. Okay, we need another event. So that's our ID, right? So we take these IDs into here. Event start. Your event start. Your event number chosen. What does that mean? Whatever. Still stay. It might not be right, but whatever. I'm guessing you do this, and then you just plug them all in. Achievements. Alright, I'll come back to this. Translations for all locales and translated.